I woke up this morning in the mood for debate, okay? I want to rile people up. I want to stir the pot. I want to start some minor arguments. And that's why today I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes to an hour discussing some of my unpopular opinions. Some of these might anger you. I know that, okay? Wow, my voice is really raspy today. It's very raspy, but it's raspy in a good way. I lose my voice all the time. My voice is always kind of raspy, but it's a little different every time. Like sometimes I lose my voice and it sounds weak and fragile and it hurts to talk. And that is not fun. And then sometimes I lose my voice like this, where it doesn't hurt to talk and it just sounds kind of sexy and smoldering. Super exciting. I went out last night, which is why I lost my voice. And I have not been going out recently. I go through phases where I go out a lot, then I don't, then I do, then I don't. Then I decide that I'm never going out again. Then I decide that being social is the only way to live my life. It's like a very, very unhealthy back and forth. And every single time I go through a phase, I think that that phase will last for the rest of my life, which is stupid, just to then ultimately go back to how I was before. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a mess. So what was the point of all of that? Oh, I went out last night after not going out for a while. I actually had fun, and that's kind of rare. So good for me. But now my voice is raspy and sexy and smoldering. Oh, that is my cat. Okay, let's get into it. Let me share with you some of my unpopular opinions. Okay, to start, very controversial. I truly do believe that olives are the best pizza topping. I truly believe that. I also understand why people don't like olives on pizza. I get it. Olives have a slightly sour, sometimes even metallic kind of taste. They look kind of gross. You know, texturally, they might be kind of gross to some people. I personally think they're delightful. Okay. When you're taking a bite of pizza, it's salty. It's maybe a little tangy. It's yeasty. It's bready. It's sort of umami, like fatty. It is so nice to have a pop of acidity when you're eating pizza. It just brightens the whole thing up, okay? From like a scientific level. I don't understand food science. I didn't study it, but I think I'm hypothesizing, and I'm too lazy to Google it right now. I don't want to Google it, but I would assume that adding acid to pizza is good for the overall flavor experience, okay? You know, when you're eating something, you want to have fat. You want to have acid, sourness, tanginess. You want to have umami. You want to have, you know, all these different flavor profiles. The more you have going on at once in harmony, the more explosive of flavor we got going on. To me, I just think olives provide that. Okay, they provide a bit of tartness, a bit of tanginess. I also like the texture they provide, a slightly harder thing to chew on. And I don't know, they're just kind of foolproof. Like a flawed pizza topping, in my opinion, would be bell peppers. Sometimes bell peppers on pizza are delightful when they're cooked before they're put on the pizza. So they're soft and they're caramelized and they have a lot of flavor. When a pizza shop just plops on a bunch of raw bell peppers on the pizza before they throw it in the pizza oven, a lot of times that's not enough cooking time to fully soften a bell pepper. So now you have crunchy bell peppers on the pizza. It just like isn't good. Same thing with onions. I personally do not like raw onions. I think that they are vile. Occasionally a raw onion can work, but it just has to be so masterfully done. It's a lot to ask. I like a cooked onion. Throwing a bunch of raw onions on a pizza, they just don't get cooked and caramelized enough for my liking. A big slab of tomato on pizza, you know, you take one bite and you fucking pull the whole tomato off the pizza. Okay, stupid. It looks beautiful, whatever, but it's not an effective topping. Basil is good, but a lot of times they'll put the basil on the pizza before they put it in the oven, and then the basil shrivels up and it's unfortunate and crunchy and doesn't really add as much flavor anymore. What you want to do is put fresh basil on top of the pizza, which does happen occasionally and it is good then, but it's also like, whatever. It's good, but it's not like changing the game. Like I can do without it. You know, I don't need it. Does add. It does add, but I'm not like frothing at the mouth for it. You know, pepperoni. Okay, yeah, pepperoni's a delicious pizza topping. I'm a vegetarian. Have I tried pepperoni pizza? Yes. Have I taken bites of my friend's pepperoni pizza within the last 365 days? Absolutely. Okay. I've had pepperoni pizza recently as a vegetarian. I have had one bite and it was fucking awesome. Okay. It was delicious, but I don't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian 95% of the time. So that is not a valid pizza topping. I just think olives are the best topping. Now, the only exception, in my opinion, is Parmesan cheese, but I actually don't consider that to be a topping. I think of that more as a condiment. Okay. I think Parmesan cheese on pizza, it's not even an option. It's mandatory. You know what I mean? Whereas olives, it's like, oh yeah, I'll pop some olives on the pizza. Parmesan should always be on the pizza. It's like fucking putting ketchup and mustard on a fucking hot dog or something. It's like, it's just obvious. It's like that is always there. The choice is elsewhere. In like, oh, do you add relish? Do you add chili cheese dog stuff? Like that's where the questions are, right? The ketchup and the mustard, that's always there. I guess not for like a chili cheese dog. I don't think you're putting ketchup and mustard. Whatever. I don't eat meat. Okay. This is not my world. I'm talking about something I don't understand. Anyway, I think olives are the best pizza topping. Actually, one last thing I'm going to say about it. I will admit that there are times when olives are less good. I think that they're always good, but there are certain types of olives that are sometimes put on pizza, like a classic black olive that's not super tart. That is a very common olive to get on a pizza. And I will admit, it's less good than the more tart sort of green olives or whatever. Or like a Kalamata olive on a pizza is delightful as well. But I still think that they're good. Even though those are less good, I still think that they're good. Yeah, okay, let's move on. Next, it is not on my bucket list at all to go skydiving. I do not need to go skydiving. I don't want to go skydiving. And I just do not understand why anyone wants to. I cannot comprehend it. And I'm not judging those who have gone skydiving and have found something eye-opening from it. Like I love that for others, but I cannot comprehend how it's possible. Like I believe that it's happened. I believe that it is happening to people daily who are skydiving. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge industry if not, but I just can't comprehend it. It's like the fact that like the universe is constantly expanding, right? I know that that's true. I've heard that before, but I don't understand how that's possible. I can accept the fact that that is happening. I am not denying the fact that that is true. But I can know something's true and not understand it. That's how I feel about skydiving. I can understand, I can comprehend the fact that people enjoy it, that people find value in it, but I cannot comprehend and understand why and how. It's dangerous, to be honest. Listen, is it super dangerous? I should probably do a bit more research before I'm speaking on this, but I've heard of people getting really injured skydiving. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Shit can go wrong. Even though you're with a professional and, you know, whatever, shit can go wrong. And that's the first reason why I'm not interested. I also just, like, I'm riveted enough being in an airplane, especially as I get older. I look out the window and I'm like, this shouldn't be happening. Which I know sounds ridiculous. It's like, Emma, you've been flying on airplanes since you were a kid, as a lot of people have. It's like this normal thing. Thousands and billions of fucking airplanes, not billions, but relax. You get what I'm saying? Trillions and trillions of airplanes take off and land every single day. It's not that crazy, but I find it more and more spectacular every day that airplanes work. And in my older age, I think through realizing how spectacular airplanes are and how much of a miracle it is that it can work in the way that it does, the more I'm terrified of planes and being in the air. I'm absolutely terrified of it. And no matter, you know, how much research I do and statistics I read about how truly safe airplane travel is, I still struggle with it. I'm getting better at it. I'm slowly but surely getting better, but I'm still very frightened by it. Anywho, all of this to say, I don't get the fucking hype of skydiving. Like, quite literally everything else is on my bucket list before that. Everything. Okay, next. It's okay not to have any friends from the past. You know, I feel like there's a negative stigma around people who don't have friends from elementary school, middle school, high school, people who don't have a friend group from college, people who don't have friends from the past. And in some ways, like I've even heard people say that that's like a red flag. You know, if somebody doesn't have any friends from the past, that's a red flag. And I really don't agree. And I think it's because I'm somebody who has gone through many friend groups in my life. And I have not retained too many friendships. I definitely have retained some, not in like any sort of close way, but like I'm cool and cordial with almost I'd say probably 90% of the people that I've ever been friends with, right? We're cool. All is good. There's no bad blood. I mean, there's the 10%, okay, where shit is maybe a little rocky, but 90% all good vibes. If I were to see these people, it'd be delightful, kind, loving. How are you? Everything's good. But the reason why the friendships have not remained friendships is because we grew apart. And I think a lot of times, you know, we end up staying in friendships for nostalgic purposes, and we spend a lot of energy upkeeping these friendships from middle school or high school or when we were teenagers, when we were in our early 20s, whatever, for the wrong reasons, you know, not because we're still, you know, providing value to each other and interested in the same stuff and like spending time together, like what friendship is for, because, well, we were friends at one time. So we should probably still be friends now. We should probably still go get coffee sometimes. We should still go get lunch sometimes. We should still invite each other to stuff. I think it's okay not to. Like, it's okay to let friendships fizzle. And my argument for why it's okay and it's healthy is because we only have so much energy to give to others, you know? And depending on your personality type and who you are, like some people have less than others. Like I am, according to some online quiz that I took once, 50% introverted, 50% extroverted. And to be honest, like I don't have time to have a lot of friends and really truly give my all to those friendships, you know? Like I'd rather really put all my love and care into like 3 to 5 friendships that are really important to me than like give 25% to 25 people from different phases of my life. That's just who I am. And yeah, I think it's okay to have different friends throughout your life. I think that's normal. I think there are some friends that you're going to be friends with forever. Maybe. I think that that's also like that can be a beautiful thing. But I think the lack of that is not inherently a red flag, in my opinion. Like, I could logically explain why I'm not friends with every single friend I've ever had anymore. Like, there is a clear cut, obvious reason that's healthier for the both of us. Either we just don't really enjoy each other's company that much anymore, like we just don't click, or we have very different like morals and values to a point. To a point, I'm all about like having sort of different values and morals in within reason, you know? Like I think we should be able to agree to disagree with people, but sometimes it's like sometimes it's just unpleasant. You know, it's like, we disagree on too many things. So it's kind of hard to have any sort of like productive conversation with this person. Or maybe they moved away and it's just like hard to keep in contact. Like I'm not going to call this person on the phone once a week. Like we just grew apart. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always some sort of reason. And I think it's okay. I think it's like something interesting that I've noticed about people who have maintained friend groups from say high school into their, you know, mid 20s, early 30s is that it tends to be very problematic. Now, I don't want to make such a blanket statement. I think there are definitely times when it's delightful and magical and amazing and loving and awesome. But I've seen a lot of high school friend groups that quite literally hate each other now, but they're just hanging out with each other because they feel like they have to. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, I'm like, go make new friends who like make more sense for this phase of your life. There's nothing wrong with that, you know? Listen, my main point of this is it's okay to not have friends from the past. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's not necessarily a red flag. And I'm kind of biased because I'm somebody who doesn't have as many friends from my past. I do. Like I have some friends from when I first moved to LA who I like don't hang out with as much, but I still am in contact with them and we chat and we catch up every once in a while. I still talk to a few people from middle school. We rarely hang out, but we catch up every once in a while. Like, it happens, but none of these people are my best friends. You know what I mean? It's not like these are people that I'm hanging out with on a weekly basis, I'm talking to on a weekly basis. And I think that's okay. I don't think that's like inherently a red flag. I have new friends today that make sense for who I am as an adult, you know? And we have things in common as adults. We've evolved and ended up at a similar place. And that's why it works today. And that's why the friendship's so rewarding. So, anywho, next. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, for one. For two, I'm about to talk about movies. And I'm somebody who shouldn't talk about movies because I have not seen many movies in my life. That is like one of my key character traits. It was recently Halloween and everybody was dressed up in costumes from different movies and TV shows and stuff. I did not know who anyone was because I've seen no movies. Listen, have I seen some? Sure. But there's a lot of classic movies I've not seen. Like, I've not seen the movie Clueless. I've not seen The Notebook. I've not seen Titanic. Like, these huge movies that everyone has seen, I have not seen. It's very weird. It's very bizarre. But I think it honestly stems from the fact that I just grew up watching YouTube. And to this day, I choose YouTube over movies 9 out of 10 times, you know? I just don't watch a lot of movies. With that being said, for some reason, I've seen a lot of horror movies, especially ones within the last 5 years. I think it's because it's one of those things that you watch with a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've watched so many horror movies with boyfriends. It's just something that like ends up happening. So for some reason, I'm very well versed in the horror scary movie category because that's kind of the only genre I've consumed over the last few years. I mean, with some exceptions, but like I've seen a lot of horror movies. And I will say, you know, I think a lot of people write off horror movies as like maybe having a weaker plot and hiding behind gore and jump scares and stuff like that. Horror movies can be so good. I think a good horror movie that has substance is probably like the hardest type of movie to make, maybe. I don't know if I believe that. This is a half-baked unpopular opinion. What I wrote down was, and I quote, "There is an underappreciated art that goes into making a truly disturbing but good horror movie." That's my unpopular opinion. But I don't even know if that's like an unpopular opinion. I guess I'm just saying like a lot of people sleep on horror movies because they're like, it's all just gore and jump scares these days. I don't know. Every once in a while, I see a really fucking good horror movie that's like unbelievable. It's genius in the way that it is gory and scary. Like the ways that, okay, I'll give some examples. Like, sorry, this is about to be really graphic, but I just watched the movie Hold Your Breath. Did it do bad? Oh my God, people did not like this movie. Oh, it was a remake. Okay, well, people do not like this movie. It's called Hold Your Breath. It's about a woman, let's see, in 1930s Oklahoma, amid the region's horrific dust storms, a woman is convinced that a sinister presence is threatening her family. Whatever. There's like this scene where like this woman is like sewing something like with a needle and a thread and then starts sewing into her hand on accident. That is so smart. Okay. Or like, you know, in the movie Hereditary, there's a scene of a guy driving a car and his little sister's having an allergic reaction and she sticks her head out the window to get air and she gets decapitated because the car passed by a large wooden post. I mean, this shit is like, or Midsummer, the movie Midsummer, when like, I don't know, like the old people jump off of a cliff to their death. Okay, whatever. Listen, I'm realizing now this was a horrible, unpopular opinion. I should just move on. I guess I just think there's an underappreciated art that goes into making a truly disturbing horror movie. I think a lot of people write off the genre as being lazy and gore and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of hidden gems in there. And I think it's really hard to make a good horror movie that has a really well-rounded story that makes sense, that has these like really unexpected, scary moments that are really disturbing, something that you've never seen before, never comprehended. Like There's a lot of art in that. Okay, I'm moving on. Next, most people should not have pets. Like, truly. I think we all underestimate the responsibility of having a full living creature in our homes. But having pets is like kind of a serious thing. And when I was little and I was begging my mom to get me a kitten and then another one and then a dog and then another one, I obviously didn't have brain cells yet. So I couldn't comprehend like how serious of a responsibility it was. Even when I got my 2 cats and I was a teenager, like 18 years old, I didn't really think about the responsibility that it was. I have no regrets. I love having cats. And I'm really fortunate that when I travel and stuff, I have the resources to have them very lovingly and beautifully taken care of. But I don't know. I just think most people shouldn't have a pet. Number one, with certain pets, there's a lot of safety hazards. Like if you have a really big dog, that is a hazard, okay? A big, powerful, strong dog can hurt people, can hurt you. If that dog is not properly trained, that dog can be a hazard. And that's not the dog's fault. That's your fault, okay? Animals can get diseases if you're not taking them to the vet, making sure that they have their, vaccines or whatever. I don't know. They can get sick. Animals can also have severe health issues that can make their quality of life miserable, which can cost a lot of money. Like my mom's dog just had some issues with his pancreas, and my mom had to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to save his life and stop the pain that he was experiencing. That's a hidden cost of having pets. You can't travel a lot unless you have somebody who can watch them consistently. I mean, the list goes on. And I think most people just get pets and are like, it's my fun little critter. And then 6 months go by and like the excitement of having a puppy or a kitten wears off. And now you're just stuck with this animal that is almost like a child. It's like having a baby. It's like having a newborn baby all the time. Actually, okay, not newborn, but it's like having a baby all the time. Like they whine at you, they cry, they knock stuff over, and you're just trying to understand what they want. Like my cats wake me up at 4 a.m. sometimes, and I have to figure out what they want, what they need. I have to clean up their poop, like all of this. It's like having a baby. I don't know. And I notice this is definitely an LA thing, but I think a lot of people feel lonely or want a little accessory and they get an animal and then they realize that they were in over their head and they don't have it in them to take on the responsibility of an animal and they get rid of the animal. I've seen that a lot, especially with like, I don't know, it's kind of an influencer thing to do, which I don't want to judge, okay? Like, I don't know what's going on, but I've seen like, I don't know, I've like, being somebody who watches YouTube and whatever, I've seen people before with like this pet. And then all of a sudden one day they like move or something and the pet is gone. I'm like, what? Or like, some like person on the internet's posting with this dog all the time and then all of a sudden the dog is gone. And it's like, the dog didn't die. Where is the dog? I don't know. And maybe, again, that could be me judging or misreading the situation, but I feel like I've seen that happen. And I just think it's kind of a shame. Like, that's really emotionally turbulent for the animal. That can't be good. And I just think people should think harder before they get pets because I think most people shouldn't have them. Like, honestly, I don't even think I should have pets. I'm not nearly home enough. I mean, again, are my cats properly taken care of? 1000%. When I'm out of town, my mom takes care of them. I have cat sitters that take care of them. Like, I have lots of options. I'm very well set up because that is a huge priority for me to make sure that they are not being neglected, okay? That's not good vibes, okay? But I still think that I'm probably not in a phase of my life where I should have animals. I'm traveling a lot. I'm young. I want to be free and not like have to take, listen, when I have kids and shit, sure, then maybe I'll get a cat or a dog or something because I'm already, it's like a mindset shift. It's like, all right, we're in nurture mode. We're going to nurture some critters here. And there's going to be a time and a place in my life for that. But I want to be able to like pick up and like fucking, I don't know, go on a 3-month trip to Thailand tomorrow if I want. And I think we should all consider that freedom that we're losing when we get pets. And also like, how much work it truly is to give them a proper life. I don't know. That's just who I am. But also I love my cats so much. I really do. And like I have one sitting on my lap right now. They definitely help with my anxiety. You know, I live alone. It's really, well, technically I live alone. I'm alone in my home a lot. And I mean, I have people at my house actually quite a lot. But in those moments when I am alone, it is so nice to have cats. So it's like I don't regret it, but I also think I'm probably not in a place in my life where I should have cats. Like if I could go back, oh my God, but I love them so much that I don't know. I wouldn't change anything. I don't think I can say that. It's like I can't say I would go back and not get them because I love them too much, but I am aware that I probably shouldn't have them. You know what I mean? Like I probably am not in a place in my life where I should have them. And I think most people my age shouldn't. And I think most people in general shouldn't. Okay, that's enough of that. Most people shouldn't have pets. Next, sweet, gummy, chewy candy. Okay, I'm talking about bubble gum, marshmallows, Swedish fish, Twizzlers, red vines, circus peanuts. Okay, you know the vibe. Candy that's just simply sweet and it's usually chewy. To me, this genre of candy is inedible. Okay, it's inedible. I need a little bit of tartness or I need a little bit of bitterness from like chocolate. I need something. I cannot eat something that is one note. A Twizzler to me, the fact that anybody would enjoy eating them, I cannot comprehend it. I truly believe this genre of candy is inedible. Listen, the only thing I will say, marshmallow, when paired with other things, I actually think is quite delicious. Like marshmallow, like a s'more. I think a s'more is delicious. The graham cracker, the chocolate, the marshmallow, it's balanced. That is a balanced dessert, like flavor wise. But like a Swedish fish, no, 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 no. I cannot eat that. It is gross to me. I really think that these candies are inedible compared to like a sour punch straw. Okay, compared to a Butterfinger, compared to a Reese's peanut butter cup. No, these things, they shouldn't even exist. You know, it was funny. For the first time this year, decided that I was going to give out Halloween candy. And one of my loved ones lives in a neighborhood where trick-or-treating happens. In Los Angeles, it's kind of complicated. Like, trick-or-treating is not like it is where, you know, I grew up in a more normal suburb, okay, where like every street has trick-or-treating. In a big city, it's a bit more complicated. Like my neighborhood that I live in, no trick-or-treating. Because I live on a hill, it's like hard to get around, it's whatever. So no trick-or-treating. A lot of people go trick-or-treating in gated communities, which is like, I can't even fathom that. I'm like, I drove past one on the day of Halloween and there was like this long line of cars waiting to go in to trick-or-treat in this gated community. Like people signed up. So fascinating. It's like so much more of an ordeal in Los Angeles, which makes sense. There's a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of different types of neighborhoods. It's very complicated. But anyway, so I went to my loved one's house, okay, and they live like in a normal sort of suburban part of Los Angeles. It's just normal. Looks just like a town. It's very normal. It's a little bit outside of LA, a tiny bit, you know, it's kind of, yeah. And we decided we wanted to give out candy to trick-or-treaters. And so I went to the store, and for the first time in my life, it was up to me what candy I was going to buy for the trick-or-treaters. And I was honestly overwhelmed with excitement. What a fun task. And it was so funny. I was like in this aisle with multiple other adults also picking out the Halloween candy for their trick-or-treaters. And I couldn't help but be nosy and see what other people were picking. It was riveting to watch, okay? Not to profile this man, but there was an older man, probably 65 maybe, and I was so curious to see what he would choose. And he chose Almond Joys, you know, the coconut with the almond dipped in the chocolate that no one likes. I actually think they're delightful. I think they're delicious, but most people hate them. Okay, he picked Almond Joys, and then he picked many little packets of plain M&Ms. I was like, holy fuck, this makes so much sense. This is exactly what he would choose. You know, it was like a masterclass in psychology in that fucking aisle. My God, it was amazing. Anyway, so let me tell you what I chose. Because I'll tell you, it was not bubblegum. It was not marshmallows. It was not Swedish Fish. It was not Twizzlers. It was not Red Vines. It was not Circus Peanuts. It was none of those things, which, by the way, are not really Halloween candies anyway. But I'm just reiterating that genre of candy should not exist, and no one should ever choose them for Halloween. What I chose was as follows: Kit Kats, of course, Twix, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and Butterfinger, aka the best little mini chocolate bars that every kid likes. Or at least, okay, you know what? Those are the ones I liked. And I was a picky eater. So if I like those, everyone probably liked those. I'll tell you, the best out of all those, to me, Butterfinger and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Peanuts, yes. Peanuts oh my God, peanuts in a chocolate bar. Very good. Very, very good. I also got Jolly Ranchers. Okay. Fun to suck on, fun to throw in your school bag and have when you're at school. Just a fun thing to have. And last but not least, Sour Punch straws, individually packaged. Gummy, yummy, sour, tart, delicious. Can I tell you, a lot of the kids were really excited about the Sour Punch straws. I wasn't sure if they were going to be excited about them. They were. If I had put little packs of bubblegum or little mini packs of Swedish Fish in there, I can tell you kids would have avoided them. Why? Because they're gross. Anyway, I just think that genre of candy shouldn't exist. Moving on, let's discuss live music, okay? I do enjoy live music. In fact, I love music. I am a music lover. So is 80% of the planet. I think majority of people love music. But I really love music, okay? I love it. I'm interested in it. I genuinely, I don't make music, but I care about it. I care about the industry, okay? I care about it as an art form. I genuinely am interested in it. More so than I am with say movies. You know, some people are movie buffs and they're all into the weeds on who produced this movie, who directed this movie, who wrote this movie. I don't give a fuck about that when it comes to movies. I couldn't care less, okay? I watch a movie and I'm like, that movie was good or that movie was bad, and that's it. With music, I'm looking at the songwriting credits. Oh, that producer did that thing. I like that. I'm into that. Okay? And it doesn't help that I surround myself with musicians and my dad's a musician. I just love it. I love the industry, okay? I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm paying attention. With that being said, I have no interest in seeing live music close up. I don't need to be at the barricade. I don't need to wait all day to be at the front and watch no, I don't need to be in the mosh pit. Okay. I don't need to be packed like a fucking sardine in a crowd just to be kind of close to the artist. No, I want to be all the way in the back sitting. I fucking love sitting. I am able to truly enjoy live music when I'm comfortable. When I'm all packed into this, no. Listen, is there a rare occasion where that makes sense and that's fun? Yes. Okay. If you're seeing live music in a small venue and it's an hour and a half show, I'm young, I'm brave. I can fucking get in there and enjoy. That makes sense. It's in a small venue. It's a fucking vibe in that way. That, great. But at Coachella, at a music festival, okay, at a massive venue, at a massive, huge, massive venue where, you have the choice to be in the pit or whatever, by the floor. I don't even know what it's all called, okay? Or you could sit in assigned seating. Give me the assigned seating all day. Okay. And I want to sit for the performance. I don't want to stand. Now, I know that this is controversial actually, because I've been seeing some videos online talking about how 2024 audiences at concerts are sitting and not giving the energy. And I can see how that would be frustrating for the artists and for other concert goers. Hey, where's the energy? This is supposed to be fun. But at the same time, I kind of get it because I love just sitting and dancing in my chair and singing in my chair. I love that. Being comfortable, it allows me to truly enjoy the experience. And that sort of philosophy applies to all areas of my life. When I'm wearing comfy clothes, I'm able to enjoy myself. When I'm not wearing too much makeup, so I can rub my face and touch my face and I'm not thinking about oh, do I need to reapply my lip liner? I tend to enjoy myself more. The more comfortable I am, the more I enjoy myself. It's the same with live music. I honestly prefer sitting in the back, watching the big screen of the person performing. Like, that's fine with me. Unless we're in a small, packed, fun venue where the beauty of that event is that we're all packed together and we're having this intimate experience and there's the artist up there and like there's no like big screens projecting them on the sides. Like it's a very small room. That is cool. That is fun. That is exciting. That is the only time it's worth it. Other than that, I can't say it's worth it. Okay, next. I think people almost always look cooler with bangs. This is an unpopular opinion because for my entire life, I've heard people say people can look good with bangs, but people almost always look better without them. I fucking disagree. Okay, I disagree. I think most people look cooler with some sort of bang. Okay, now I'm not talking about like a beautiful curtain bang. Okay, I'm talking about like a blunt bang or like kind of shaggy longer bangs or like micro bang. Like I just think bangs are cool. And I think most people look cooler with a bang. But also I think my taste in things, especially like aesthetically on people, I'm more excited about something that's cool or interesting than like what's hot and flattering nowadays. But I just don't love the sentiment of like, don't cut bangs, you'll regret it. It's like, no, I actually think most people look cooler with bangs. I think it's a more interesting, more intriguing haircut. I have bangs right now. Okay. I mean, I like clipping them back sometimes, like whatever, but I just think bangs are cool. I don't know. I think bangs get a bad rap, okay? And I think they shouldn't because I think they can add a lot of personality to a haircut. And it's like a fun accessory to have bangs. Next, I think I actually prefer fog over sun. Now, am I fully convinced that I believe this? I'm not sure. But I really love fog. Like, I actually do think fog is my favorite type of weather. And I have like a real scientific reason for it. Okay. Like, it's not just like, it looks pretty. Like, I have like reasonings. Okay. Let me explain. And the reason why I'm hesitating is because I do think like if it was foggy every day, I think it would be really hard for me mentally. I think we need the sunlight, you know? I think it's very healthy and nice for us. However, I really do love fog. Okay, let me explain. Number one, easier on the eyes. Okay, like it's so comfortable to look around at the world when it's foggy. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I like the way that fog sort of color grades the world. Like all the shadows are really soft and it's kind of cool toned. Like I like the colors that are created from fog. Okay, that's my next point. Okay, moving on to the fact that a lot of times fog protects, I don't know how this works, but there's less wind. Sort of can be kind of like more comfortable and less windy when it's foggy. And there's like a scientific reason for that having to do with like pressure and like particles and stuff who cares? It's less windy oftentimes when it's foggy, at least in my experience. Okay. This is not every time, but this is a lot of the times. Next, it feels very cozy. I feel cozy and safe in the fog, as though I'm being what's it called when you wrap a baby in a blanket? Swooning? What's it called? Swaddle. I feel psychologically swaddled by fog. Okay, I feel safe. I feel cozy. I feel like nothing bad can happen. And last but not least, I grew up in a foggy place. I grew up near San Francisco. It's very foggy there. Anyway, I just like fog. I genuinely think it's very pleasant. I think the sunlight is beautiful. It's amazing. But I think it kind of hurts the eyes. It can get really hot. It can be really windy. Like, I don't know. Like clear skies are great, are amazing. We love them. We need them, especially during the summer. Delightful. But any other time of the year, I prefer fog. I don't know. It's just who I am. Next, what wasabi adds to the sushi eating experience is like, to me, non-negotiable. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. So I often will pick up a sushi roll from a grocery store for lunch. This is something I do frequently. Okay, like there's amazing sushi at Erewhon, the Los Angeles grocery store. There's amazing sushi at Whole Foods, at Sprouts. There's a lot of grocery stores that have a little sushi section. And sometimes they'll forget to add a little bit of wasabi on the side, or they won't have a little wasabi packet available on the side. When that happens, I will not buy the sushi for lunch. I will fully choose something else. I love wasabi and what it adds to the sushi eating experience so much that if it is not available, I just will not eat sushi. Now, at a sushi restaurant, they of course always have wasabi. It's always on the side, you know what I mean? But, at when I'm getting a quick sushi roll for lunch or something, not always. And it's such an important part of the experience for me that I will just simply not buy the sushi. And again, I have a reasoning for this. Number one, the flavor that it adds, it brings it to life. It totally brings it to life. I love the spiciness. I love every once in a while getting a bite that has too much wasabi on it. Like, I love that experience. I love being done with my lunch, my sushi lunch, and having tears streaming down my face because of how much wasabi I use. I love that. I love taking the entire clump of wasabi that they provided me and putting that in my soy sauce and basically playing Russian roulette every single time I dip a roll in there because I might accidentally pick up a clump of wasabi and just absolutely send myself into orbit, crying, tears everywhere, nose running down my face. I love that. That is my favorite part. That is one of my favorite parts about sushi. I mean, sushi is one of my favorite foods. And I know what you're thinking, you're a vegetarian. I know, but there are a lot of delightful vegetarian sushi options. There's tofu, there's egg, there's all these other things that they add. So fucking relax. Yeah. Wasabi is mandatory when eating sushi. When people eat sushi with no soy sauce or no wasabi, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I can't even comprehend it because I love it so much. I love that experience so much. Okay, next. I think a lot of people when they go on vacation want to make the most out of it. They're like, I want to do all the touristy stuff. I want to have an activity every day. I want to go horseback riding on the first day, then go on a hike the second day, then do boogie boarding the third, and then I'm surfing the fourth, and then I'm ultimately flying home. And then, there's other people who are like, okay, first day, I'm going to go shopping here. Second day, I'm going to go shopping here. Third day, I'm going to eat at this Michelin star restaurant, and then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to, like, people like to have a stacked itinerary when they go on vacation. And obviously, depending on the vacation, that itinerary is different. And the itinerary doesn't matter for this conversation. I think vacation is best spent doing nothing. Now, I don't mean doing nothing, okay? Like laying in bed and like rotting. Okay, I do think that that's kind of a shame. Listen, if that's what you need to do on your vacation to recharge, I am not one to judge. However, that's not an ideal vacation for me or probably for anyone. So I'm not saying do actually nothing, but there's something so awesome about having no plan. Being like, you know what? I'm going to go to this place and see what happens. I'll give an example. My dad and I recently went on a road trip and we went to Vail, Colorado. This is a ski town. And we went off season because we were like, we just want to like hang out in a ski town that's like small and dystopian almost in some ways. Like ski towns off season are very dystopian. There's like no one there because no one's skiing, obviously. But there's all these like little cute businesses, but they're all like, it seems like you're in a theme park almost. And we were like, we're just going to go there and see what we discover. And we ended up finding this like really cute deli that we were eating at every day. We discovered this really great hike that was really challenging and fun. And we spent hours a day doing that. We got bored and like found this cafe that we could get some work done at. We are like, oh, we'll get some work done on our vacation. So we both worked at this cafe that we found. We were going on walks late at night. We were finding these like, last minute reservations at restaurants or just like popping into a spot. Like we just were finding stuff as we went and we were just intuitive about it. And it was a delightful vacation and there were no dull moments. We were just able to find stuff as we went. And it was an adventure and it was fun. And I don't know. I just think simple vacation, no itinerary is the best way to have a vacation because you're truly just free. You know what I mean? Like in theory, when you go on vacation, what are you trying to escape? For me, I'm trying to escape the rigid schedule and lifestyle that I participate in the other 98% of the year, right? I'm trying to escape the schedule. I'm trying to escape the itinerary that I always have. That's what's exciting about vacation is like, oh my God, open up my calendar. There's nothing to do. Like having to be somewhere at fucking 4 p.m. when you're on vacation sucks. That sucks. At least in my opinion, I want to be like, oh, I kind of am in the mood to like go for a walk. All right, let's just go for a walk and see what we find. You know what I mean? I think that's the best type of vacation. Now, it is a little bit scary because there's a risk of like, oh my God, what if we don't have anything to do? Blah, blah, blah. But do some research and make sure that there is some stuff to do. Like, oh, this place has a cute little downtown area that we could go eat at. And there's some hiking trails if we feel like we want to hike. Or you see what your options are. Make sure that there's some stuff to do that you don't need to over plan. Like, oh, there's some cute hikes and there's a cute downtown area to walk around in. And then you're good. You don't need to over plan. I don't know. Okay, this is a really unpopular opinion. I'm actually afraid of what you will think of me. So here's the deal. There is this trend in fashion, design, whatever, where designers will basically take something like a shoe, oftentimes a shoe actually, and they will pre-dirty it. Okay, like they'll manufacture the shoe, produce the shoe with dirt and scuffs on it already. Or like jeans that come with stains on them and stuff, right? A lot of people really do not like this. And I actually totally understand. I think there are times when it's goofy and ridiculous. However, I think when done subtly, I actually kind of appreciate it. And let me explain, okay? I'm actually going to give one specific example. I have these sneakers that they sort of have they're like a lace-up sneaker. And I got them from the brand Acne Studios. And they're like lightly worn in. Like they look lightly worn in. Okay. Like the rubber has like dirt on it a little bit, but it's not like to the point where the shoe is like structurally not sound. It's not so over the top that it's like the shoes look ridiculous. It just looks like I had already been wearing them for like a year. I bought these because I hate the look of new shoes. Hate. And so to me, even though these shoes are ridiculous because they come pre-dirty, I like that because I don't even like it's either I buy them like that or I were to buy them and then, go like rough around in the dirt for like an hour before I wear them for the first time. And that's kind of annoying. Like I actually am kind of happy. Like I'm excited that they're pre-worn in. Now, arguably I could go and buy like thrifted shoes, which I have done before, but I have a hard time with thrifting shoes because a lot of times they're like already at their breaking point anyway. And it's like, I don't know, shoes are tough. And it's a little gross. Sometimes shoes, depends on what type of shoe. But like a sneaker, I don't love thrifting a sneaker that's like worn in already. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times they're actually just about to rip anyway. I don't think it's a completely ridiculous, idiotic idea. And a lot of people think it is. Like things that are pre-worn in, like it's stupid. Can it be stupid? Absolutely. Like, I don't know, Balenciaga, I think, put out these shoes that went viral. They're like ripped up. Like they're like Converse that are like all ripped up or whatever. And people were like, this is fucking ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. However, that is their, that's their marketing. That's how they market their brand. I mean, they want us to talk about the shoes and we're talking about them. What can you do? That is not what I'm talking about here. Okay. I'm talking about stuff that's pre-worn in. I would have worn the shoes in to the point. Here's what I think is actually, you know what? This is sort of the formula, the rule for pre-worn in clothing. Okay. I like it and think that it is smart and not ridiculous when it's pre-worn in to a point that I could accomplish within 6 months to a year. Like it looks true to life. Okay. It looks true to my life, right? It's like, in theory, Emma could wear in her shoes to that point. In theory, Emma could scuff up her jeans to that point from just like not washing them and like living in them. You know what I mean? In that case, I actually think it's fine. You're just pre-wearing them in. And then as time moves forward and you're wearing them over and over again, they get dirtier, they get more worn in, and you don't even really notice because it just kind of blends into what's already there. That's also kind of awesome. Like you can't even tell that you're wearing them in because it already looked worn in. Like, I swear to God, those shoes that I bought, the Acne Studios sneakers that were pre-worn in with the scuffs and everything, I've worn those shoes so much. Like, I wear those shoes all the time. They look exactly the same. Okay, next. A lot of people think that it's weird that I often will drive in silence or run/exercise in silence, especially driving. People think it's very odd that I drive often without music. Sorry that I'm fucking thinking. I think running, driving, doing these sorts of activities that are autopilot monotonous sort of activities. I think that these activities can be even more beneficial when done in silence. Now, are there times when I want to play music in the car? Absolutely. Are there times when I want to listen to a podcast or a YouTube video or something while I'm driving? Sure. But probably 50 to 60% of the time, I'm driving in silence. I'm running in silence because I want to use it as time to think and time to sort of meditate. And I think it's not weird. I think it's kind of awesome. And I recommend you give it a try. It also has to be something that's intuitive, though. Like, you have to sort of be craving it. Like, there are times when I crave silence in the car. I just want to think, you know? And then there are times when I'm like, I don't fucking want to think at all and I want to listen to music and sing. That's fine too. But I'm just saying, it's like a lot of people think I'm a freak and a sociopath for not listening to music in the car. And I don't know. I feel like that's ridiculous. It can be delightful and everyone should try it when they're being called to it. Next, wow, this is my second thing about movies. I guess I just love movies. I watched this horrible movie recently with someone else. Like, I actually never watch movies alone, ever. That is an activity with friends or with a boyfriend for me. Otherwise, I'm not watching a movie. Anyway, so I watched this really bad rom-com movie. It's like a new rom-com. I'm not saying which one it is because I don't want to call it bad and then say which one it is. It was horrible in a lot of ways. It was unbelievable in a lot of ways. Like, I enjoyed watching this movie so much. Okay. The writing was cringe. It was so cringe. The acting was kind of cringe. Like, but I fucking loved it. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I'm like making fun of it a little bit, but I'm also like invested in the dumb storyline. Like, it was amazing. I actually think bad movies are just as fun to watch and just as enjoyable to watch as like genuinely incredible cinema. I think there's no in between. Like, I think I most enjoy watching either a really, really good movie or a really, really bad movie. And I don't know if that's even an unpopular opinion, but I actually am going to start seeking out bad movies because I enjoyed watching this shitty, horrible. It actually wasn't that bad. I'm being dramatic. I loved this bad movie so much that I'm now going to seek out more bad movies. Next, I prefer workout classes over going to the gym. I really do. I think workout classes are better. Now, listen, workout classes I would say are usually more expensive, but I really need somebody to tell me what to do. I'm realizing that. I love exercise. It is such a priority for me. I really love it and I really care about it. It's like a very important part of my routine. And I've kind of done it all. I've had phases of doing it all. I had a gym phase, home workout phase. I've had many different workout class phases. I have come to the conclusion that there is nothing better than a workout class, in my opinion. It's not as intimate as having like a personal trainer, which is also very expensive. Like, personal trainers are like at least $100 a session, which is whatever. In a workout class, it's like you have a personal trainer. You have somebody, giving you directions. But not only is it less expensive, but also you don't have to be one-on-one with them. Like, you can get into the flow state. You're not like trying to keep up conversation with your trainer. You're actually kind of on your own still. But you're also being told what to do so you don't slack. When I'm working out in the gym alone, I'll just be like, I'm done now. Or I just don't even know what to do. Like, I've done a lot of research about fitness and workouts and nutrition and all of these things because I find it interesting and also helpful. It's like genuinely like useful information to know. And so, I can put together a workout for myself. I feel confident that I've done enough research to know how to do it. But it's like, I don't know. I like being told what to do. So I think workout classes are better than the gym. Okay. I love sort of the community that is sort of nonverbal about workout classes. Like, you wave to each other, you smile at each other, but you don't really talk to each other, and then you leave. But you feel like you were around people, and you all went through sort of the same thing, the same challenge of the workout class. It's like not too intimate. I don't know. I just think workout classes are great. But a lot of people don't like workout classes. I know a lot of people who like refuse. I also know a lot of people who like them, but I don't know. I think it's split sort of down the middle, which to me makes it feel sort of unpopular, I guess, that I love them this much. But I really, truly do believe it is the best form of workout, is in a group. Anyway, last but not least, I don't think this is actually that unpopular of an opinion. I think a lot of people agree with this, but I really do think that blue cheese and goat cheese should never be used at a restaurant. Okay. I will be reading a menu and I'll be like, wow, everything about this looks so good. And then they add blue cheese to it. And I know that if I order that and I eat it as the chef intended, I will be able to taste nothing but blue cheese. And the same goes for goat cheese. I've tried time and time again to give the chef a chance who uses these things. And I ultimately cannot taste anything but the cheese. You know, the thing that I enjoy about food is like, oh my God, I'm tasting a little bit of this and I'm tasting a little bit of that and I'm tasting a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And if you put goat cheese or blue cheese on something, you are now losing that. Honestly, I think truffle almost falls into this category too, but I actually prefer, truffle I like better. Blue cheese and goat cheese completely ruins everything that it touches. I can't tell you how many times I've been so sad that I've ordered something that has one of those cheeses and I've been like, I can't even eat this because it's so strong and foul. And that's all I got for today. Those are my current unpopular opinions. Share with me your unpopular opinions if you have any that you want to share with me. You can let me know on the Instagram at anything goes. Find me on Instagram at Emma Chamberlain. New episodes of Anything Goes every Thursday and Sunday, anywhere you stream podcasts. Come hang out anytime you want. I'm always here twice a week, except for like 1 month out of the year when I take a break. But other than that, I'm always here. So come find me, come hang out anytime you want. Thank you all for listening and hanging out. Check out my coffee company, Chamberlain Coffee, if you want. ChamberlainCoffee.com, at Chamberlain Coffee. And I'll talk to you later. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you for listening and hanging out. And I'll talk to you very soon. Okay, bye.